Paradise Lost is John Milton's romanticized retelling of the Book of Genesis, recounting the fall of Satan and our fall from grace. First published in 1667 as a 10-book epic poem, it was later reissued in 1671 as a 12-book epic poem that has become a monument in terms of the English language and literature across the globe. The epic tells of the divine struggle between good and evil taking place within heaven, hell, and on earth. He attempts to capture the human experience and the complexities of our moral struggles while framing it within his politically subversive and puritanical worldview. During the first few books of the poem, Satan can be seen as the hero of the story. Though he is a hero, he is considered an anti-hero because his struggles of loss and despair make him relatable through human emotion, while his quest is still for the triumph of evil. We see that his struggle can be related to our daily struggle to overcome obstacles within our own life, though it is not as extreme. Milton's choice to use Satan as the protagonist allows us to see a character that we understand as evil can still have human-like qualities and emotions. The character of Satan challenges moralistic preconceptions and makes us ask, how explicit are the boundaries that define the things people once thought were objective and simple, such as good versus evil? Line 110 of Paradise Lost, "Evil be thou my good."
John Milton's choice of style for this epic poem is one that uses iambic pentameter and blank verse, being that there is no rhyme scheme. Milton's form of poetry can be described as Latinate, meaning there is no ordered syntax. Milton creates this style of Latinate blank verse through influences from Virgil and other great ancient Roman poets.
Throughout the text, Milton has a tendency to place prepositions or prepositional phrases before the rest of the line. Can starting a sentence with a prepositional phrase serve as a mechanism to provide context? Can this mechanism allow for more creativity in the subsequent content? Prepositional phrases often provide context of where the subject is, such as within, above, below, beneath. Although the work uses blank verse, this use of the prepositional phrase acts as a point of reference and allows for a more textured, detail-oriented syntax that gives the reader a better concept of the images he is trying to create. These images immerse the reader in a way that provides them the ability to reflect on the characters and their place in their world.
Milton uses a strong allegory to describe his political views. Heaven in the text is a metaphysical representation of the monarchy in England, and God can be seen as the monarch himself. Satan, though evil, he can be understood as the rebellion leader that Milton desired for his previous revolution against the English monarchy. Milton's nearly sympathetic representation of the fallen angel Satan allows to closely dissect why Satan acts as he does, to show how his human-like motivation that could be compared to Milton's own feeling of purpose.
Is Milton successful, as he says in line 26, in justifying God to men? Maybe in this work, he is attempting to describe and justify providence as his understanding of history and fate. It is also possibly a statement of his feelings concerning his particular political predicament and activities, that they may be part of a divine endeavor. Milton reworks the Bible and states mankind was created to replace the fallen angels in heaven. Although he does not spare the reader any mercy to the reality of hell, Milton manages to evoke a hopeful tone.
Milton wanted to express himself in a way he absolutely knew others would listen. To present his reimagining of the Book of Genesis would be a sort of refuge in the sense that he will be able to reach a much wider audience with his political views. His allegorical characters in the poem create a world that most readers of the time would be very, very familiar with, leaving them to dissect the characters more so than they normally would be able to. Giving the reader the chance to understand the characters more so allows him to riddle the entire text with his political persuasions. Milton's Christian narrative perfectly fits the archetypal literary plot arc. The fall of Satan acting as the rising action, the original sin as the climax, the fall from grace as the falling action, and the rest of humanity history is left to be resolved. This fall from grace should be understood as man's capacity for free will. his capacity for danger and rebellion, not simply evil or destruction. Paradise is not only meant to allow us to be free from our fears and anxieties. To be a part of paradise, one must resign one's self to his fate, to a sense of higher authority, for the sake of comfort and security. Milton shows us these distinctions are not so set. When we ourselves fall from grace, this should be eventually understood as a call to action, and to new life, or as Milton said, death is the key that opens all of eternity.